Hey, this is Steve from myothercareer.wordpress.com, and in today's video I wanted to show you how I use a service called Dropbox to help me write across multiple devices and just in spare time as it pops up through the day. As you can tell from my beard, I haven't shaved in a couple days. Work's been pretty hectic between Christmas and New Year's, and I just haven't had time. Putting aside 5 minutes, 10 minutes to shave has been tough, but I took today off because frankly I'm tired of working. So I thought now is as good a time as any to show you this little video. Now, I'm sure a couple of you, if not most of you out there, have either one or more computers. Maybe you have a desktop at home and you have a notebook or a laptop, maybe you have an iPad, maybe you have an iPhone. You've probably got more than one computing device, and I'm sure there's been an instance where you've said, damn, I wish I had a document that's on one other machine to work on here, whether it's for work or writing or whatever. I ran into this a lot. I wanted to write sometimes on my desktop, sometimes I wanted to write on my MacBook, sometimes I was at work and I had some downtime and I wanted to write there. I didn't have a way of doing that until I found a service called Dropbox, and I'm going to show you how that works today, and you can use it for free depending on how much storage you need. So I'm going to use my Mac. Here's my iMac. There's my MacBook Air. My iPhone and my work computer. Actually, let me minimize some of this stuff because it's sensitive information that cannot be made public. Yes, that's right, folks. I work in an industry that has information that I cannot share with the public. It's not super important information, but is proprietary, and I could get in trouble if you see it. Okay, so probably should have had this set up beforehand. And great. Okay, now, Dropbox is a little service that sits up in your system tray. Hopefully, well, the contrast is a little high, but it's a little service that sits up here, and you can see open Dropbox folder, launch Dropbox website, change files, blah blah blah. And basically, what it is it's a folder on your desktop or your laptop or whatever. It's just a folder. And this service that runs will constantly check this folder for any new information. So for example, I'm going to add a new folder. Okay, so I'm in a new folder called test. Okay, now, what that's going to do is that just said, hey, I have this new folder. It told my service that's running up here, I have a new folder. What you need to do is you need to go send this folder up into the cloud. Now, what's the cloud? You probably heard the term cloud computing. All that means is it's something hosted on a computer somewhere on the internet. And you've been using cloud computing since you've used email. Email is a cloud service. It means it's just hosted somewhere else. So what this does is this folder went and got sent up into the Dropbox servers. Now, every other computer I have set up with my Dropbox account is going to have that folder pushed down to it. So let's look on my laptop. Here's my Dropbox folder, and sure enough, there is the test folder that I just set there. And if I look on my work computer, it's a little fuzzy. There's the test. Great. Okay. Now let's see on my iPhone. Dropbox. Take a minute here while it syncs up. The iPhone app takes a little longer to sync up than the there it is. There's test. I just had to back out and resync. Okay, so what does that mean? All right, great. You know, you got a document here. Phenomenal. Now you got a folder. All right, so what happens if I'm working across multiple devices? All right, so let's open up. I host all my screenplay stuff on here. So let's open up the thin line, which is, I don't even know what this is. All right, so I've got this document, right? And I wanted to start working on it here. I'm typing with one hand, so bear with me. I like apples. All right, great. So I've added I like apples. I'm going to save it. All right. Now, I may want to pick this up somewhere else. Okay, so I've closed that document. Then maybe later in the day, I'm at work. All right, you see right there? And I'm at work and I want to pick up working on this. So I'm going to go into on my work computer. So I'm going to go into my screenplay folder, and I'm going to poke up the thin line document. It's going to boot up in Word, and look, there's I like apples. Okay, so maybe I want to add here typing with one hand is hard. I like potatoes. I'm going to save it and close this out. Alright, now I'm back at home on my iMac, and you can see it's updating. It just says thin line updated. It pushed from the cloud down to my machine. Open it up, and look, I like potatoes is there now. And maybe I'm on my laptop downstairs, and now I want to work on that downstairs on my laptop. And I open up the thin line, and it's there too. So this is a way for you to store documents. And let's see on my iPhone here. And the thin line. And it'll open up here. And I like potatoes. Sorry, the focal length on my flip camera is a little sloppy. Alright, so this is a way for you to store documents and have them synced between multiple computers. A lot of times, I do most of my writing just in Notepad with plain text, as I'm working on outlines, background, character stories. I don't need Final Draft on all my computers. So I will just pop up TextPad at lunch, at work and work on stuff there. Or if I am, for example, if I want to use Final Draft here upstairs, maybe I'm working on a document up here. Alright, so say I got serve cold up here, right? Here's an old draft of serve cold. And if I want to edit something here, I'll add in, test, or whatever text that is. I'm going to save it. Great. Alright, so I'll close out serve cold. And you can see it's been pushed down to my computer here. So if I am at home, or I'm down on my laptop now, I'm going to, let's see here, where's serve cold's folder? Open up serve cold, drafts, current draft, and that change I made is down there at the bottom. So this is a way for you to have multiple devices that you can use to write, and it's stored in the cloud on the actually it's stored in two places. It's stored locally on every machine, meaning there's an actual file here, and then it's stored in the Dropbox servers up in the cloud. So if you lose, or say someone steals my MacBook Air, right? Someone steals that. Well, shit, if I don't have my stuff backed up, I'm out of all my documents. But since I use Dropbox, I've got a copy on the cloud that I can always get to. You can use the internet too to get to this, just their website. I've got a copy on my iMac. I've got a copy on my work machine. So it's redundant. I've got copies everywhere that I can get to. And this has been a really useful tool for me from a productivity standpoint. I've been able to write using multiple computers. I've been able to, I save my screenplays, any PDF screenplay I download that I want to read, I save in my Dropbox folder. So if I'm at work, I can read there. If I'm in the car or on the bus or whatever, I can read on my phone. I can pick up where I left off. It's been a really, really great tool. Dropbox is free for the 2 GB service. If you need more than 2 gigs, that goes up to 5 gigs for the first pro level and up from there. So especially if you're an artist, you do a lot of video editing, or maybe you do photo image editing and stuff like that, and you need stuff across multiple devices, this may be a service that you can use. So check it out, play with it. Like I said, it's free. And I think it's a really cool tool for writers to use. So you might want to check it out yourself and give it a whirl. But it's really helped me out from a productivity standpoint. And it's nice to know that all my stuff is backed up in multiple places. And since it's a local file, if I ever decide to stop using Dropbox, all I got to do is copy my stuff off the Dropbox folder into somewhere else, and I've got it, and I can cancel the service, and I don't have to worry about losing files or anything like that. So that's Dropbox. Give it a whirl. Until next time, this is Steve from myothercareer.wordpress.com. Keep writing.